Russia says the creation of a no-fly zone over Syria under a humanitarian pretext would be illegal. Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov was responding to a recent U.S. statement claiming it could successfully implement the measure in the conflict-torn country. Let's get the details from RT's Egor Piskunov, who's outside at the Foreign Ministry building in Moscow. Good to see you there, Egor. So why is Sergey Lavrov so opposed to setting up a no-fly zone in the stricken nation?
Foreign Minister Lavrov says that a no-fly zone over Syria would be a violation of international law, which Moscow would never support, especially with the experience from the no-fly zone over Libya, when a UN resolution aimed at protecting civilians was instead used to overthrow the Libyan regime. And Sergey Lavrov says the UN doesn't do revolutions.
I heard the statements from the U.S. military commanders. This is not the first time when there's been talk about establishing security zones or no-fly zones. If these zones involve the territory of the Syrian state, this will be in violation of the country's sovereignty and the UN Charter.
Earlier, Washington said that it's looking at steps at creating a no-fly zone over parts of Syria, and it could bypass the UN Security Council if needed. And the Russian foreign minister says that is a very troubling signal, especially knowing that the Syrian rebels who are calling for this help from the West also say that they're ready to join forces with Al-Qaeda. Sergey Lavrov also slammed the West for trying to bury the agreements reached in Geneva when world powers were able to reach a mutual understanding on Syria, saying that equal pressure has to be applied on all sides of the conflict and that they have to put their weapons down simultaneously. And Sergey Lavrov said that communique signed in Geneva gives way for a peaceful end to this conflict, but judging by the steps currently being made by many Western states, it's not really peace they're interested in, but simply regime change in Syria. The Russian foreign minister also rejected the speculation that this opposition by Moscow to the West when it comes to Syria is creating political isolation. He says that Moscow is negotiating with the West and with Arab countries and with both sides of the conflict in Syria as well, including the opposition, and there are no signs of any isolation. However, a major media war against Russia is currently underway, which is aimed at harming its image and distorting its position on Syria. Sergey Lavrov also commented on how he's now often called Mr. No because of this opposition to the West on Syria, and he says as long as it means upholding international law, then, well, he's proud to be Mr. No.
Right, RT's Egor Piskunov there outside the Foreign Ministry building in Moscow. Thank you for that update.